Well, why don't we get started? So it looks like most of you who signed up have joined. Again, I'm Barb Stearns, a senior account manager here at Nero, and a lot of you have probably met me in the past. So we're going to have a webinar today on the mobile apps we have. So hopefully you can see my screen here where I've got our demonstration portal from Nero up there, because we're going to look at that a bit as well. But the main part we're going to look at is our apps. So just going to put this on full screen so that hopefully you can see it here. And I'm on an Android tablet today, but as you know, we can use this from an Apple device or from an Android. And the first one I'm going to talk about is GPS Fleet Tracker. So you can see here our little icon that I'm going to click on to open up. And so when you get here, your login is going to be the same username and password that you use to log onto the computer. The only thing different when you're on the app is that you're going to just need a partner, which is simply Nero. So, and I'm just gonna log in here. And what's going to happen when I log in is that it's just going to pull up again the same vehicles that I was last looking at. So when you swipe to close it or close it down, it doesn't log you completely out. It keeps your preference from the last time. So I know on Android it's a little bit different than Apple. On Android here you've got your icons at the bottom. On Apple, you've got your 3 lines up at the top that you can click on, but basically the same functions. In order to, who you're going to display on your map is you're selecting your items. So if you have item groups, you can choose your item groups. That allows you just to select, certain vehicles. Or if I wanted to choose all, let's go back here. If I want to see all my vehicles, I can click on the ones that I want, or I can go down and select all. Like I said, on Apple, it's going to be at a different place, but allows you to do the same functions. So if I select all, now it gives me the opportunity to show selected. So now it's going to give me the best view of my map when I first open it up to be able to see all the vehicles. And you can see a couple here are kind of maybe overlapping because they're in the same location. But if I click on any of them, it's going to zoom more in on that specific vehicle. It's going to give me the details. So today's date at 10:05, this vehicle is traveling at 112 kilometers per hour and heading west. So gives the address of where it is, and the last event that fired was a locate. And from here, I've got a little door with an arrow here that I can click on and get more details. It's going to be the little eye on an Apple device. So what this is giving me is the events. So this is showing today's history, everything that it's done. So it's telling me the event was a locate based on the scenario or the programming of 1-minute tracking. As I scroll down, anything else that's fired, he's been driving for a while here. Here we had a posted speed alert. Another one there, a harsh acceleration for driver behavior. So this is going to give me everything, every start, every stop, every ignition on, every ignition off, it's all going to show here. And this is just pulling from today. And I also, if you have any outputs set up, so things like door unlocks, anything that is an output set wired for a hardwired beacon that goes from your portal to send a signal to the vehicle, you can access those through your controls. So you can see for this vehicle, which is our installed vehicle, I would be able to unlock the doors on his vehicle just by clicking on the door unlock here, which I'm not going to do because he's currently driving, and if they're locked, I don't want to freak him out. So, but that's all available to you, scrolling, swiping back to the details on, and back to my map. As you can see now, it's zoomed in on this vehicle. I've got 5 more vehicles this way. I've got a couple up here that I can click on. So it just allows me to maneuver around my app. And when I close it down, it's going to, just when I reopen, it's going to have the same vehicle selected just for ease of use here. So I can see this vehicle's been stopped for 2 days, 16 hours. Last event that fired was the ignition off. I look over at these vehicles. I've got, I'm going to zoom in a bit so that I can click on other ones here. There's another vehicle that's been located. So from the GPS Fleet Tracker app, you're able to see your map, see where your vehicles are, get information on those vehicles. Get the details, so basically similar to what a route log would be if you pull it when you're on the computer. You can see this vehicle doesn't have those controls like we did on our install, because this is actually, this one has a plug and play beacon in it, and so it doesn't have anything hardwired in there that we can do it. But everything shows in here for the day, and I can just scroll back right to the beginning of the day. You can see the ignition was first turned on here at 6:57 a.m. and where it was. And again, with landmarks, if you have any landmarks set up in here, they're going to show both on your reporting, and if a vehicle or an item is at a landmark, it'll show as well. I have the ability here to switch to satellite view and back to map, and also have the ability to refresh my map. So again, you get your app here from Google Play or the App Store. It's a free app. This one is called GPS Fleet Tracker. So I can click here and say log out. I'm going to say no, because I don't want to log out. I just want to close it down for now. So that's the GPS Fleet Tracker. Very basic, very similar to your map view and a lot of those things. Our other app is called GPS Fleet Easy. So here it is, as we got a thumbs up. And basically what this is, it's a quick glance at your fleet as a whole based on driver behaviors and policy that you set up. Now this app, it's not compatible with older technology. You do have to have the newer technology that has the driver behavior. So it's going to be harsh braking, harsh cornering, harsh acceleration, potential accidents, all of that. So I'm going to open the app here. Same thing when you log in, it's going to need the partner and your username and password that you log into the computer or the other app. And what it's going to do in a snapshot is show me my fleet. So based on the policies that we've set up, and I'll show you how to edit those, I've got 25% of my vehicles are non-compliant, so they're not meeting the goals I set. 58.3% are, and I've got some that aren't configured at all. So I can go in here and view my vehicle list then and see. So I've got 3 vehicles here that are in red, which are showing the percentage that are not compliant, and then these ones in green, and these other 2 that aren't reporting at the time. So if I want to find out, I can click on that vehicle and I can say my harsh acceleration on this vehicle had 7 violations today, and I set my tolerated level at 0. The harsh braking, I've set a maximum of 2, and this vehicle's had 3, and the harsh cornering, I've said 0. But we're doing fine in the idling, the speed violations, and the zone violations. I can go back here and I can look at another vehicle because this vehicle also has posted speeds, and this vehicle's had 3 violations today where we've said 0 and has had 1 zone violation. So you can see we can break it down in our vehicle as well. But what I can also do, just going to go back here, go on there, install vehicle, you can see the violations and such. But you've got this little map up in the corner, and when I click on that, it's going to show me where that vehicle is currently. So I can see that vehicle's traveling like 89 kilometers an hour heading northwest, the address it's at, the last event that fired, and you can see here it'll also show our halo, just like on the main map view from the portal itself on your computer, that it's got my green halo telling me that that vehicle's moving and the directional arrow of the direction it's heading. If I go back to one of my other vehicles that I know is currently stopped, then you're going to see the red halo telling us that that vehicle is stopped and the ignition is currently off. So again, this is showing us our fleet at a glance. So now I'm going to go back to our portal, and I'm going to show you how to set up this policies that we show here. Just going to minimize that. So when you're in your portal, you do need to have the administrative permissions. So we're going to go onto our administration tab. And just keep in mind that anything we go over today, that if you want more information about it, just give us a call at the office here and ask to speak with your account manager, and we'll help you with that for sure. So on our administration tab, which is where we see the scenarios that have been set up, on the left-hand side down near the bottom, we have, under the profile, we have the policy. So the policy, this is where we set our tolerances. So you can see I've already got some set in here, but now I want to edit it. And so I've got the ability to set these at whatever I want. So maybe idling, because of the programming I've set up for where my threshold is for idling, I don't want anyone to have any events. Can say 1 posted speed violation, I'll let that go. You know, maybe, you know, you can set these to whatever is appropriate for your company. And maybe the zones doesn't matter as far as the driver behavior, so you can have whatever numbers in there. Set that for 2 braking, 1 cornering, power cut, so that is when the battery is no longer powering up your device. So that's whenever the device power is disconnected or cut or removed. So I can set whatever I want as far as policy there and save it. And it says it's updated. And just going to go back to my device here now. Bring that back up on our screen. Back into GPS Fleet Easy. Onto my vehicle list. And you see these tolerations haven't changed because they're not going to change until this refreshes. So when we log in the next time, they'll be, but all of those things are what match up to what my policy says here. So whatever you set it as, when you go to log in here, that's what it's going to reflect. So it's completely customizable for whatever you need. So those are our mobile apps. If anyone has any specific questions, please, feel free to use the chat function on the Zoom meeting, and we can see if we can answer some of those now. Or if you don't get it in right away, what we'll also do is, we'll connect with you directly or have your account manager directly connect with you to be able to, get you that answer that you have. So feel free to stay if anyone's got any questions. I haven't seen any pop up yet here. Basically concludes the webinar. But if you do have any questions, feel free to stay on the line here.